SEC fans, I know your attention may be split tonight. You see the football stadium over there. But SEC football and SEC baseball are a big deal. And, yeah, you might throw the football to get loosened up with Dave Van Horn's team ready to go. This is game one of a three-game series on this Thursday night from Columbia between Arkansas and Mizzou. Happy to have you with us, along with former SEC and Major League Baseball pitcher Greg Olson. I'm Mark Neely. Let's start with the fact for Arkansas. It's fascinating to watch Coach Van Horn put his lineup together because he has reached a point in the season now where it's basically, hey, if you're not producing, you're not going to be in there. He's trying to get an offense ready for the postseason.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not that you're not producing. It's don't come to the park thinking you're going to be playing. Yeah. And he did a shakeup a couple weeks ago. A couple of the main guys that weren't getting it done at the SEC during SEC play. And, hey, if you're going to come to the ballpark, you better be ready. You might not be playing.
And we've seen Rudenbar jump up to the top of the order, and he has been producing at the top spot. As you take a look at that Razorbacks lineup for tonight, including Kojal in the 3-hole for the Razorbacks. Now, for the Razorback offense, they're going to be facing the Mizzou ace Josh McDevitt, who pitches well in this ballpark, and we know we're going to see the heater.
Yeah, I mean, over a 70% usage on his fastball. Four-seam, has great ride and carry, hard to explain, really short arm arc, really low arm slot, and guys just do not pick it up out of the hand. And so Arkansas can flat hit a fastball, but this guy is going to use it early and often.
From Effingham, Illinois, let's look at the numbers. Makes his 11th start of the season. You know, Arkansas has been a team that's hit the fastball very well this year, Greg, so we'll see how this combination works out tonight.
Yeah, but like my partner said, McDevitt has gotten it done well here in this ballpark. Let's see how the fastball fares.
All right, we are ready to go. Starting this three-game series on a Thursday night from Columbia. And yes, it's day one of the NFL draft. We're happy to bring you SEC baseball here on SEC Network. Carter Rudenbar steps in. This crowd ready to go. So is McDevitt. First pitch on the way, and it is strike one. And off we go from Como. Rudenbar has now become kind of a mainstay at the top of the order for the true freshman from Midlothian, Texas. Arkansas team coming off a midweek win over Missouri State on Tuesday. Mizzou coming off a loss to SIU Edwardsville on that same night. McDevitt jumps ahead, a ball and two strikes. There's Coach Van Horn. His team comes in with a 9-9 conference record. And they have won 7 of their last 9 games. And McDevitt starts the game off with a strikeout at Carter Rudenbar.
Well, much like I talked about, it's hard to explain. It's a really short arm arc. Hitters do not pick the ball up until it is coming out of the hand, and that fastball is by you. I mean, velo is 91 to 94, so it's not going to knock your socks off. But, man, that fastball plays.
Damian Ruiz batting in the 2 spot tonight for the Razorbacks. And a little bit off the plate. It was fascinating to hear you and Mizzou Tiger head coach Carrick Jackson talking before the game how you had to actually slow the videotape down to really kind of see where exactly the arm angle is for McDevitt. It's so unusual.
Yeah, well, you don't see it real well, but it's a real short backswing, and then all of a sudden it's coming through, but it's a lower arm slot than you think it would be with the fastball spin rate that he has. You can see this low arm slot that I'm talking about is below 3/4. You're not supposed to get that carry. That's more of a sinker arm slot, sinker slider, and he goes the exact opposite where he's four-seam and curveball.
This is down 95 miles per hour on that last one. 2 balls and a strike on Ruiz. Had a good weekend last weekend against Georgia. Went 5 for 10 with a homer. Knocked in 7 runs. A 3-game series. Arkansas took game 1 but dropped the last 2. Mizzou swept by Oklahoma last weekend. As we're getting down to the last handful of SEC series in the regular season.
How fast did this season go by?
Man, it just flows by quickly. And it's season 3 already for Carrick Jackson. I asked him about anything a little different in season 3. He said, yeah, there's definitely a little more comfort level. 3-2 pitch misses down, and 1-out walk to Ruiz.
Well, Carrick Jackson going about this process, rebuilding, retooling every year. Doesn't feel like he can get it done with the transfer portal, so trying to do it the high school way and build it that way. And then then you got guys coming in from travel ball that don't really know how to win at this level. And so then you got to teach them how to win.
Yeah, that's been priority number 1, as he told us earlier today. Like, look, we've got to teach the players on this team how to win. And that's not easy to do in the SEC with young players.
Oh, now we're going to get a visit right here from pitching coach Drew Dickinson. But yeah, I mean, it's one thing. It's high school. Yeah, you learn to win because it's an overall season. Travel ball, I don't feel like teaches you how to win.
No.
Because it's one weekend, and then you got the next weekend, and then you got the next weekend.
And you're worried about yourself and your own stats for the most part.
And you're worried about yourself, yes.
You mentioned the pitching coach Drew Dickinson, who's in his first season. Coming over from Virginia, where he was the pitching coach for 6 years.
He's done a nice job with this pitching staff. Really has. 33rd nationally in Ks per 9 innings. 35th nationally in hits per 9 innings. Major upgrade.
The runner takes off. The pitch is a strike, and as the catcher Mateo Cerny came up to make a throw, he lost the handle on it, so no chance there to get Ruiz, who is now 13 of 14 in stolen base attempts on the year.
Well, he got a pretty good jump. I don't know if Cerna would have got him even with a great throw.
Gabe Kozel sees a 1-1 pitch. And foul tipped into the mid of Cerna. Kozel in the Tuesday game against Missouri State, 3 hits, had a home run, knocked in a couple. Well, he comes into this series having hits in 7 of his last 8 games.
I mean, these guys know a fastball is coming. And Kozel, yes, it's a 1-2 count, I get it, but he has seen nothing but fastballs, and he's still late. It's one of those old school fastball plays, and that's all you had to say, and you just go watch him a little bit, and you go, yeah, fastball plays.
1-2 pitch from Josh McDevitt.
A wrinkle.
He did. A little wrinkle indeed. Missed up 2-2.
That was the curveball that he will throw on occasion. Very small occasion. I think he throws it about, I'm looking for my notes, 9% of the time versus lefties.
And he gets his second strikeout. Off speed that time.
Yep, changeup. Doesn't use the changeup much either. It uses it much more against lefties, but pretty nasty changeup.
So strikeout, walk, strikeout for McDevitt to start the game, and now the cleanup hitter's up, and catcher Ryder Helfrich. First pitch fastball at 95 and a strike taken by Helfrich. And a home run Tuesday night against Missouri State. Comes in with a 7-game hitting streak. Junior season for Helfrich. This is D1 ranks. He's the guy you want batting your cleanup spot.
Yes, he is. Really came on last year, his sophomore year. .305, 15 home runs. Fayetteville Region MVP.
Had 5 more homers in the NCAA tournament, which of course ended up in Omaha. There's the 20th pitch of this first inning from Josh McDevitt. Didn't miss by much near that inside edge.
There's that changeup, nice little wrinkle. Late arm side movement. You got an open base. I know it's first inning. I get it. Helfrich's been one of their main guys in SEC play as well as all season.
3-1 pitch is not made. You see 20 pitches thrown by McDevitt. 10 balls, 10 strikes. There's head coach Dave Van Horn. Three-time SEC Coach of the Year, last time coming in 2023. Cerna had the attention, given the attention to Ruiz, who had a big secondary lead there. Still got the strike call, and it's 3-2.
Yeah, bluffed like he was going to steal, got Cerna's attention.
Second full count already of this first inning. 3-2 pitch and lost in ball 4. So strikeout, walk has been the sequence so far for McDevitt to start this game.
Overall, McDevitt, I mean, everything's been a glove side pull, which tells me he's flying open. Drew Dickinson's already walked out there, probably had this conversation. And by that, I mean your front hip's leaking open, which is taking your front shoulder open, which means I'm going to pull my fastball into the left-handed batter's box, or usually, for me as a former pitcher, I'd leave it right around the neck of a right-handed hitter.
Ball 1 to Souza. Nolan comes in at 276 on the season. Two on, 2 outs here in the Razorback first inning, just underway from Columbia. And McDevitt misses in.
McDevitt's been going deep. He's been getting deeper every year every week in his games. 7 innings against South Carolina, 6 2/3 against Oklahoma last week. 24 pitches already here.
Pitch number 25 just misses, according to our plate umpire Danny Cricks. Now, you mentioned the start he made last Friday at Oklahoma. 6 2/3, 8 hits, 8 runs, 5 earned, 2 walks, 7 Ks. So he's already matched the 2 walks that he had in 6 1/3 last time out. And now make that 3.
I was wondering if Ruiz was bothering him a little bit. You know, just seeing a guy as you're turning around looking at the base runner at second base, and Ruiz is jumping all over the place. Now he might take advantage of that sitting over at third base.
So 2 strikeouts and 3 walks. We haven't had a ball put in play yet. I think the only contact's been a foul ball 1 time. 27 pitches in.
See if Zach Stewart's got the take. I would think that he would.
He'll take at least 1 strike here. If McDevitt can find the zone, and he does get the call on the outside corner.
Just good baseball. Saw Dave Van Horn look over in the dugout and do the one, which is, hey, you know, give me a look on this one.
Next, Stewart getting the start in right field. Chance to give an early lead to the Razorbacks. Takes a hack and misses, and now it's 1-2. Lead runner is Ruiz. Bases loaded. 2 outs. 1-2 pitch from McDevitt is upstairs. Base is full. Ruiz, Helfrich, Souza, left to right. A little extra hesitation there for McDevitt, and brings the Stewart strike it out to end the inning.
Fastball, fastball, fastball. You know it's coming. Everybody in the park knows it's coming, and you still can't do anything with it. Scoreless.
Well, on this Thursday night from Columbia, we go to the bottom of the first inning. Arkansas leaves the bases loaded. 3 strikeouts, 3 walks for Josh McDevitt, the starting pitcher for Mizzou in that first inning. Here's the batting order for the Tigers. Blaze Ward, who've been batting leadoff to the 3 spot tonight. Jace Woida is batting leadoff for just the 2nd time this year. First time since February against North Dakota State.
Yep, they're going to be facing Hunter Dietz. Got moved into the Friday night starter role, or tonight, Thursday night starter role a couple weeks ago when I was talking about that shakeup. He was one of the pieces. 6'6", 235, high arm slot, means a down angle. This dude is a legitimate Friday night starter. Good fastball, 93 to 97. Cutter, slider, curveball, changeup. Really nice mix of usage of pitches.
Yeah, you see that strikeout to walk ratio, 84 punch outs, just 18 walks on the season. Razorbacks just a chance in the top half. Though technically we didn't even have a ball put in play in the top of the first inning.
No, we did not.
So here is Jace Woida. Batting in the leadoff spot, playing first base. Leads the team in most of the offensive categories, and he drives one deep left field and gone into the bullpen. First pitch of the game from Hunter Dietz. Jace Woida says hello to the first pitch, and it's 1-0 Tigers. Well, we've now hit a ball put in play.
We do. Well, Carrick Jackson had a feeling. We thought we had the first couple of guys in the lineup. We knew Woida was going to be in there. Man, he ambushes Hunter Dietz. First pitch fastball. I'm going to get ahead. And Woida says, not today.
His 10th home run of the season, 42nd RBI, at about 100-mile exit velo, and that's just the 6th home run that Dietz has allowed this year in 52+ innings pitched. Cam Durnan hit by the pitch.
Just right on time, looking, hunting first pitch fastball. You can see he's up in the batter's box. And that fastball is mid-90s. He went up there hunting for a fastball outer half, got it. A little bit of wind blowing out here, Mark.
Yeah, that may be an understatement. I don't really think that got a ton of help from the wind.
No.
It certainly got a little bit, but it was hit very well. First pitch swinging here, Blaze Ward hits one deep left field, and that's gone. third of the year for Blaze Ward, and 4 pitches into the game for Hunter Dietz. It's 3-0 Mizzou.
My first take looking at this lineup, Mark, was it's awful left-handed heavy. And I'm saying that because Woyd a left-handed. Then you got Durnan right-handed, Ward left-handed, Peer left-handed, Cerna switch, Benson left-handed, Frost left. It's really left-handed heavy against a good left-handed pitcher. Well, who knew that they're all going to come up, stay inside of these 95-mile-an-hour fastballs and take them out to left?
You know, we asked head coach Carrick Jackson about that. We said, what about all the lefties facing the left-handed pitcher? And you're going to see another one tomorrow, actually, what Arkansas has scheduled on the mound to start. And he said, you know what? We look at the splits. It ain't that much different left, right. So we're just going to go with what we got.
Yeah, you know what? That's what you got to do. You got to roll out your lineup. And
Peer lays down a bunt, and it rolls foul.
That one would have got me, too. I mean, you got home run, hit by pitch, home run, and then Peer comes up and lays down a almost perfect bunt. That would have got me standing on the mound going, nope.
From the cleanup hitter, mind you. You could probably sense a little surprise in my voice making the call on that one.
Yeah.
Peer's swinging away, and he's in the hole 0-2. Do have that breeze blowing out to left center field, as that's 3-pitch strikeout of Peer. First K for Dietz. Winds at 18 miles per hour, gusting to 32 miles per hour. So I think Ward's ball did get a little bit of help on his one to left, a little more help than Woyta's did.
Yeah.
When you look at the SEC numbers compared to non-conference for Dietz.
Well, you know what? I mean, when you're looking and evaluating a guy, we're at midseason now in SEC play. You want to see who a guy really is. You look at what his SEC numbers are. And I mean, 401 in this league on Friday night is still pretty good.
Mateo Cerna, Tiger catcher. Yeah, Hunter Dietz, really, the 2024 and 25 seasons, both injury issues. You know, the elbow ended his true freshman year, and then only pitched a couple of times last season. Pitched well in his last start against Georgia last weekend. 5 1/3, allowed only 2 earned runs. Got the win in a 6-3 victory when they took game 1 of that series, which would be their only win in it.
No, but like you said, I think he's finally healthy. You know, you saw what he was. He was highly recruited out of high school, big arm, and got hurt his freshman year, sophomore year, same thing. And now he is finally healthy. We saw.
It's chopped over the head. In time. Kojal charged. That ball bounced over Dietz's head in the mound. And a bang-bang play at first base. And first base umpire C.J. Burdett.
The ruling on the field of out at first base. The play is under further review.
And that's not a surprise.
Keep the momentum going when you got it if you're Missouri.
You know, watching this in real time, Greg, I thought he was safe.
In real time, I was going, he's got no shot. And then I looked up. I think he's out. I thought Dietz might backpedal a little bit on the mound and have a better shot at it.
Very close. You know, when that ball kind of, here's a good look. Yeah, he is safe. All right, that was the best view right there from that last angle.
I didn't get that one.
He definitely beat the throw. But like you said, when that ball kind of checked up that last bounce to Kojal and he had to stretch even more for it, I thought, no way he's even going to have a chance. And for him to even make it that close was a really good play by Kojal at short. So it's an infield hit for Cerna.
Yeah, I think Dietz probably had the best shot at that, but it's not a natural move to go running backwards as a pitcher. You get right into everybody's lane.
Cameron Benson handling the DH duties tonight for Mizzou. He hit a solo homer here on Tuesday night against SIU Edwardsville. It was his 5th of the season.
He's been from Akron, Memphis. It's a Mac Frosh of the Year in 22, redshirted in 24. It's been an interesting road for Cameron Benson.
It has indeed. You know, when he initially played for head coach Carrick Jackson at Memphis in 2022 and 23, that ball's bounced out to second base. Souza out at short to first. Kozel got him. 4-6-3 double play ends the inning as Razorback defense turns their 32nd double play. But the ball left the yard twice for Mizzou.
First pitch fastball. Missouri comes in looking to ambush Hunter Dietz. They get three in the bottom of the first.
Kind of an interesting line score after 1 inning. 3 runs, 2 hits for Mizzou. On the home runs solo from Woida, 2-run shot from Ward. And Arkansas did not even put a ball in play in the first inning despite 31 pitches from Mizzou starter Josh McDevitt. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts in the inning for McDevitt.
It was an exciting inning. It was eventful.
Eventful is the best way to put it, for sure.
I mean, that's all you can say. You got 3 walks and 3 punch outs and 1 foul ball. It was an exciting inning.
Roy hacks it foul, and looks like it's going to stay in foul territory. And right near the line it does. Run down by Blaze Ward, the second baseman.
Great communication. You got Woida over there. You got the wind factor, which the way you were looking at, it's blowing right to left. And so that wind is going to become a factor for Woida. Ward comes over and makes the catch, calls him off.
So we have had a ball put in play now. Wasn't put in fair territory, but it was in play. It turned into an out. Reese Robinette takes ball 1. There's a strike from McDevitt. Finding the zone in the first inning was an issue for McDevitt. He threw more balls than strikes in that first inning.
Yeah, it was bizarre. I mean, he's had a pretty good season on the strikeout versus walk ratio. And just sometimes you're amped up. I mean, you got Arkansas in town. There's reasons to be amped up. Now, I don't know why, but his velo is up to 96. He's usually been 91 to 94, so you got that aspect. And then all of a sudden, when you're amped up, your body starts flying all over the place.
And he gets his fourth strikeout. We have the 31 pitches he threw in the first inning, 17 balls, 14 strikes. But he has retired the first 2 here in the Arkansas second.
This fastball ends up missing its location. It's supposed to be up and away. Ends up getting up and in. An absolutely beautiful pitch. And you can see that fastball I talked about in the open.
And he pours in a fastball strike to TJ Pompey. Here's your back third baseman. No swing, says first base umpire C.J. Burdett.
Pompey will go up there hunting pitches, and if you hang a slider and he's looking for it, he is going to do some serious damage. Let's see how he does when he knows he's getting a fastball.
Well located fastball there.
Yeah, bottom of the zone, perfectly located. I mean, what got me was McDevitt's fastball ratio with 2 strikes is still up above 70%.
And there's another example of that. After a 31 pitch first, a 10 pitch second with a couple of strikeouts. Well, SEC baseball. SEC Network featuring a couple of game 2s on Saturday. Number 7 Texas A&M taking on number 21 Florida. That's 5 Eastern, 4 Central. Then Vandy will host number 4 Texas from Hawkins Field in Nashville. Both games also available on the ESPN app. A couple of solo shots he allowed in his last start to Georgia. He was able to bounce back from. He got the win in that game against the Dogs, but 2 in the first inning here, 1 with a man aboard.
Well, you know what? I mean, you have to be realistic about what's going on in your world. And the home runs last week against Georgia, they hit a ton of home runs. They were solo shots. Okay, I can live with that. Today, I'm going 30-mile-an-hour winds. Which one of those home runs was legit? And you can walk away going neither one or both. And so that's the way I would look at it, going, okay, they got some wind-blown home runs. I got to make an adjustment. I got to keep it out of the wind going that way.
And he gets ahead in the count on Pierre Seals, 0-2. Yeah, certainly no time to panic for Hunter Dietz, who's out there still looking like Hunter Dietz.
And the pitch count still low, 19, coming up on 20 here. But what I love about Hunter Dietz is that he is making in-game adjustments. All right, right now, the big overhand slider, it's been hit or miss. He's going to keep working with it, keep trying to find the feel. And about the 4th inning, all of a sudden, it's going to be like, oh, he's got all his toys.
Pulled out one of the toys right there and records A strikeout, getting Seals looking. Second K for Dietz.
But that's a professional mindset is, okay, you know what, I don't have it working right now. I got to fix it. I got to find it and fix it. It's not like me going out on the golf course going, hey, I got a little cut today. I don't know how to fix it. I'm just going to deal with what I got.
Just aim to the right when that's the case on the course. Dietz faces Keegan Knutson, Tiger third baseman. Just 23 pitches so far from Dietz. Ground ball to second base. Gobbled up there by Souza. A couple of outs, quick outs for Dietz.
See Dietz settle in, mixing that slider, curveball. He's got a little cutter that he'll use, as well as a good over four-seam fastball.
Throws a first pitch strike to Isaiah Frost. Dietz has thrown a first pitch strike to all but one of the Mizzou hitters. And the one he didn't was a hit by pitch. Now Durnan, now he's quickly ahead 0-2. So as you said, Greg, we have seen Dietz make some adjustments here, and already those adjustments look effective.
Yeah, and you know what? You come walking to the dugout and you get ambushed by two guys on first pitch fastballs. Well, I'm not going to throw that pitch right now. I'll come back to it. I'll pitch backwards.
Gets a couple of strikeouts, sets down Mizzou in order. 3-0 Mizzou after 2. Well, Mizzou starter Josh McDevitt's faced 9 Arkansas hitters. He's had 1 ball put in play.
I mean, it's been exactly what I talked about. Electric fastball, plays up. He's used a couple of change-ups for a strikeout, but the rest of them have been just that four-seam fastball. And this Arkansas hitting squad is not picking it up out of the hand.
See the 5 Ks through 2 innings. His career high is 10 strikeouts. That came March 14th against Auburn. Went 6 1/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, a couple of walks, those 10 Ks. Did not get to receive a decision. In fact, Auburn won that game 4-3, but it was a career high for strikeouts for Dietz, or I should say for McDevitt. Top of the order for the Razorbacks. Waving a miss by Rutenbauer, lost his batting helmet with that rip.
Seen a couple of helmets fly off, a couple guys going, I know I'm getting a fastball, I'm coming unglued. The funny thing was Dave Van Horn's like, you know, moving Rutenbauer up in top of the lineup, and he doesn't strike out very much, but when he does, he gets really frustrated.
Makes contact, hits a towering pop fly out behind second base and just onto what's considered the outfield with the artificial turf here, caught by Cam Durnan, the shortstop.
Number 42,
Well, that's just the second ball put in play, first out recorded by the Mizzou defense on a ball put in play into fair territory.
And both of those balls were pop-ups, which means that Arkansas is just a shade underneath it, which means that McDevitt's ball's got a little bit of carry.
Ruiz showed bunt, took it, strike one. Maybe had walked in the first, stole second base, was stranded at third when they left the bases loaded to begin the game. Off speed.
With that low arm slot, he has a lot of problems getting to the front of the baseball to create that spin. But when he does, it is nasty.
Ruiz had a pitch to hit there, fouled it off.
Well, Ruiz stole a base in the first, created a lot of havoc. I think he was a big part of a couple of those walks with his bouncing around second base.
Takes it inside, 2-2. Ruiz, who missed a little bit of time earlier this month, had that kind of kneecap shin bone situation. He injured while jumping, trying to make a catch at the wall in the outfield. But has moved past that injury. Ground ball towards deep short. Diving stop to his feet. Knutson got him at first base. Terrific play by Keegan Knutson with the glove for out number 2.
Carrick Jackson said Knutson's in there. His bat is coming, but defensively he is above average, if not better. This is a great play. You got to have these plays. If you want to beat Arkansas and you're Missouri, you got to have these plays.
Started the last 16 conference games, as you see. Cam Koziel fouls it off, and Mizzou has 3 conference wins. 2 of the 3 have come in game 1s of a series. One against Kentucky, the other against Tennessee. Their other conference win came in game 3 against Kentucky, so they won 2 of 3 in that series.
Well, there's a lot to like. There's a lot of pieces.
That's behind first, and a reach and a snag by Woida, who takes it to the bag. 3 unassisted. 7 in a row set down by McDevitt.
Best conference tournament all of college baseball.
Run straight for the breakaway.
Let's get to Hoover.
Yeah, less than a month away from Hoover. It all begins on May 19th. But if it began tomorrow, this would be your matchups, and it actually would be these two teams going at it. With Arkansas as the 9 and Mizzou as the 16 and last place right now in the SEC. Just in case you were wondering. Still a lot of baseball to play. Including this series, you got 4 series left before you get to Hoover.
This would be an exciting matchup if this was a game 1. That one got Helfrich. Foul ball. Danny Cricks is going to walk this baseball 60 feet. On a Hunter Dietz. Hand it to him nicely and then walk slowly back because he's the only other guy on the field that knows how much this foul ball just hurt.
So Helfrich give a little head nod. That wasn't for Dietz. That was for the plate umpire, Danny Cricks, who is the crew chief of this 4-man crew. Top of the order for the Tigers here.
Sorry, partner. You can see Hunter Dietz has changed the wrinkle up. You ambush 2 of his first pitch fastballs. Well, I'm not playing that game anymore. Here comes some sliders, some cutters, some curveballs, something different.
Breaking ball strikes him out. And again, we see Dietz showing the adjustment second time through the order.
Yeah, this one's a tight slider, bottom of the zone. He's like, all right, you're going to ambush my fastball. We're playing a new game. Glad you guys had fun in the first inning. I'm not doing that anymore.
Fun's over, huh? As far as Dietz is concerned. He has set down 5 in a row since a Cerna infield hit in the first inning. He hit Cam Durnan with a pitch in the first inning and now bounces it up there. 2 balls, no strikes.
If you're Missouri offense, man, you got to keep the foot on the gas pedal. Got to find a way to get some guys on base, create some traffic.
Right over into the Razorback dugout. And back out.
Looks like everybody's all right. But you got to find a way to create some traffic, keep the pressure on Arkansas.
Strike call. It was 2-0, now 2-2, even though he fell behind Durnan. Dietz has thrown a first pitch strike to 9 of the 11 Mizzou hitters. And one he's had the issues with throwing a first pitch strike is Durnan. He represents the 2.
There's always one guy that just doesn't stand right in the batter's box. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it, where you're just looking at him going, I'm not comfortable with you.
3-2 pitch, fouled at the plate, and that may have got a piece of Helfrich as well. Been a rough inning here for Ryder.
So you want to be a catcher. Deep sigh. All right, let's go.
Close pitch. Ball 4, says Danny Cricks, plate umpire. That walk, the first walk issued by Dietz. That's going to bring up Ward, who went deep last time.
Had 2 home runs in the last 4. Now he's got 3 home runs in his last 5. And he's got 3 home runs on the season. So power's ticking up a little bit. Be shocked if he gets a first pitch fastball.
And he did not. So Greg Olson was not shocked.
I am not shocked.
Freshman Ward, who's from Maumelle, Arkansas, on the north side of the Little Rock Metro. And we asked Coach Jackson about him. He said, you know what? He was not highly recruited. We saw something in him. We like him. We think he's got speed, doesn't get ahead of himself. There goes the base runner. It's steal attempt for Durnan. 1 hop, safe. The tag put on by Kojal, but it's Durnan's 9th steal of the season.
Good jump by Durnan. Got to go first move on lefties. He takes off. Not a bad throw by Helfrich. Just a better jump.
Check swing strike. Florida freshman, as I mentioned, when they asked early in the year, said, tell us about yourself. Usually the players will say, I'm an outfielder, I do this and that. He said, Blaze Ward just got up and said, I'm a hitter, guys. That's what I am. that's
what I do really well. I hit. 3-time All-State. I don't know how he didn't get recruited.
I guess it just goes to show you, even in this day and age, there's talent that falls through the cracks.
Yeah.
Lays off, and the count is run full on Blaze Ward. He's playing second base tonight, but has also played some outfield. So if you have to designate him at a position or two, it would be one of those. 3-2 from Dietz. Ground ball towards short. Lead runner will take the base to third. Durnan does advance despite the ground ball to the left side. Enough up the middle to Kojal that Durnan moves to 90 feet. Ward grounds out.
And Kojal just takes the out. Ball right in front of you. Probably had a good shot at taking Durnan down at third base.
First pitch heater up high to the cleanup hitter, Caden Peer. It was the first strikeout victim of the night back in the first inning for Dietz.
It's a sweet left-handed swing. Third year here.
Peer, who had a 3-hit game Sunday in the finale against Oklahoma. Off speed that time and a strike. So still shy of 50 pitches here for Dietz with 2 outs in the third. Durnan at third base. Zoo leading 3-0. Scored all 3 in the first on the long ball. 3 pitches into the game. Just got a piece of it.
Peer's been here 3 years. Solid. Keeps upticking every year. 250 his freshman year. 299 with 5 home runs his sophomore year.
Another 3-2 pitch. And did he go? He did. It was off the plate. It would have been ball 4, but a strikeout ends the inning. 5 Ks now for Dietz. When we come back to Como, we'll chat with the Tiger head coach, Carrick Jackson. With the head coach of the Tigers, Carrick Jackson. When we chatted just before game time, you're talking about the left-handed bats you have in your lineup facing the left-handed pitcher, Dietz. That first inning looked like you were being very aggressive. Was that the plan of attack coming in with those 2 long balls early?
It was, because we talked about it. You know, I know from a philosophical standpoint, they like to establish their dominance with the fastball, and we haven't been good with the fastball, and so we told our guys, hey, be aggressive to the fastball, and then once they change, which now they've changed, he's now starting to pitch and do some different things, some things to us, and so now we have to adjust to that. But yes, that's what we wanted to do.
All right, Josh McDevitt, everything that you've talked about, man, that arm slot is unique. The metrics are unique. Fastball plays. Tell us a little bit about him.
Today is not his sharpest day, right? I mean, they have 3 free bases in the first inning. That's not him. But again, you see how special it is when they know basically right now he's pitching with 2 pitches, the fastball and the changeup. And if he can get the breaking ball over at any point, he'll be able to cruise a little bit more. But right now he's been able to dominate with the fastball.
Dietz falls behind, ball 1 to Helfrich. You mentioned that you've seen Hunter Dietz, the starting pitcher for Arkansas, already make some adjustments as Helfrich goes around there. When your offense gets backed up there, what do you want to see adjustment-wise now with what Dietz has countered with?
Again, I think we stay fastball aggressive and make him prove that he can throw the breaking ball for strikes. And if we're on go with the fastball, if he leaves the little slider in the middle of the plate or he hangs the slow curveball, go after it. Like, don't check up on it, go after it, and just continue to be aggressive through the pitch. But we have to stay on the fastball. We can't sit soft because he throws 94 to 97.
We'll let you get back to it. Appreciate the insight. Thanks so much, Coach.
Hey, appreciate y'all, MIZ.
Head coach Carrick Jackson, season 3. 2-1 strike count. And the cleanup hitter leading off. Bouncy ball past McDevitt. Took a backhanded swipe at it. And it's into center field. And Helfrich has a base hit. That gives him an 8-game hitting streak now.
Saw that emergency hack a couple pitches ago. This fastball gets a little bit more arm side run than carry. Flattens out. Helfrich takes it back up the middle.
First hit of the game for the Hogs comes here to lead off the 4th. And Nolan Souza, the second baseman. First pitch, strike 1. Souza worked a walk in the first inning, one of 3 Razorback hitters that worked walks in the first.
Helfrich's a threat to run, 6 stolen bases out of 7. Great athlete, great story by Dave Van Horn. They saw him playing shortstop in a travel ball game. Didn't even realize that he caught. Said he could be playing any position in the field. That good of an athlete.
Yeah, that's just what I was going to say. That was the part that Coach Van Horn mentioned. I'm like, any place on the field. He said he's got the skills to play there. Not that he will, but
not that he will.
Yeah,
but yeah. Too good behind the plate. Calls the pitches of the game. I mean, just a big piece of this Arkansas team.
Bluff of a go at first base. Really hard bluff. Maybe Helfrich didn't like his jump because he got a pretty aggressive 4 or 5 steps towards second base before stopping. And 2 pitch coming to Souza.
That was another aspect Dave Van Horn talked about a couple weeks ago, was these guys really weren't fighting for their at-bats middle of the game. You know, where you're spoiling a couple pitches, staying in the at-bat. You just saw Souza do it right there, spoils a breaking ball back door, gets another pitch.
Wave and a miss and a strikeout. Well, McDevitt's come in. It's certainly gotten better here since that first inning. Well, coming up Sunday morning, we'll have the Men's Golf Championship from Sea Island Golf Club, 25th straight year to be held there. 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, right here on SEC Network, as well as the ESPN app. Match play format will determine the SEC title. Next, Stewart. Helfrich at first, 1 out. Pitch out of the zone off the glove of Cern. I was just mentioning the command has been better for McDevitt. He threw 17 balls in the first inning. 17 pitches out of the strike zone. That one right there for ball 1 to Stewart is just his 9th pitch out of the zone for a ball in the last 3 innings.
Yeah, no, I mean, he settled in. I don't know if it was just adrenaline rush. It's hard to explain. But it was not, and Carrick said it himself, it was not this is not Josh McDevitt. Going out there 3 walks, completely out of the zone.
Wild pitch. Advancing Helfrich. And he comes back with the fastball and puts it past Stewart, 1-1.
Stewart struck out on a fastball, got ahead in the count, and just was not able to solve McDevitt's fastball.
Stewart takes a strike on the inside corner. Hack fouled back, keeps it at a ball and 2 strikes.
All right, that might make me do something different. That was right on time. Just a tick underneath it. See if McDevitt goes to that changeup that's been a pretty good weapon so far.
You are simpatico with their thinking. That is hit in the air to center field. Tagging. Helfrich going to third. He's in with a head first slide. And Stewart flies out to Pier, but the catcher Helfrich with his wheels able to advance the 90 feet to third with 2 outs.
I was being aggressive. They're trying to create something, and Helfrich, I mean, that's a gutsy move. That ball's just a shade deep in center field. Takes a chance on running on Caden Pier. Right now they are making sure McDevitt is stating what he is doing since he is in that modified windup. He's got to tell them he is wind up or stretch.
Ball 1 to Kuhio Aloy. Aloy fouled out to the second baseman Ward. First time up. Outside edge strike. Aloy has been kind of a streaky hitter because when you look at the games he has hits, they're usually multi-hit games. He's had recent 3-hit games at Bama, against Pine Bluff in non-conference, and then last weekend against Georgia. And then 2 hits Tuesday night against Missouri State. It's going to twist foul back into the seats.
Yeah, Aloy, pole side hitter. Last 10 games hitting .474, so he is getting it going. You can see right now McDevitt working fastballs away.
Helfrich at third with 2 outs. Arkansas batting in the 4th. Check swing, strike 3. 7th strikeout for Josh McDevitt. And Arkansas strands Helfrich at third.
McDevitt continues to get it done. Runner on third base. Locks him up with a fastball painted down and away.
Dari, thank you. We know why that is for Bama, because Arkansas took on Bama recently, and Arkansas kind of got well then.
Yeah, they did. And then Georgia comes in, and Arkansas loses 2 out of 3. So welcome to the SEC, where you never can get too high, too low, just stay flat, even keeled. You never know what's going to happen.
Well, in this game, Mizzou put up a quick 3-spot, 3 pitches into the game. On a homer from Jace Woida on the first pitch of the game, and then 2 pitches later, Blaze Ward, or 3 pitches later, hit a 2-run home run. And Mizzou with that early 3-0 lead, it has stayed right there now in the bottom of the 4th. Cerna leading off for the Tigers. Now tip into Helfrich's glove.
Yeah, pretty much what I was saying. I mean, I don't think anybody had Missouri dropping a 3-spot with 2 home runs in the first inning. And being up 3-0, here we are in the bottom of the 4th.
Bouncy ball towards the middle. Long way to go. The reach is made by Kojal, and the throw to first. Both pitchers have had some really nice infield defense behind them so far in this game. Another example there for Kojal.
Yeah, Kojal goes a long way to his left, heading out towards center field on this throw. You really got to start it back up the baseline to get it to drive along. Man, what a play.
One out for the DH, Cameron Benson. Well, Dietz threw a first pitch strike to 9 of the first 10 Mizzou hitters. And with that ball 1 there to Benson, he's now missed with ball 1 to each of the last 5 Tiger hitters.
Yeah, but his stuff is still so good.
It is.
And
that's a perfect example right there.
He's able to get back into the count and then get back in charge of the count and then get you out. Get a 1-0 emergency hack? No. Just no.
Well, with a 1-2 count, they're now going to shift. Pompey's going to go over to the right side of the infield, so they got 3 defenders on that side with the lefty Benson. And he goes around and strikes out.
Pretty amazing, Mark, the data that we have that with 2 strikes, okay, I need you over here. I'm going to move my third baseman over to second base, playing true second.
Yeah, 2 strikes, like, oh, he's not bunting, so here we go. Pompey, go to the other side. Half dozen strikeouts now for Dietz. He does get ahead here with a swinging strike from Seals. Pierre called out on strikes in his first at bat. Last 24 plate appearances, strikeouts have been an issue.
I mean, this guy hit 291 last year. Had a couple of big years at Memphis, 327, 10 home runs as a junior, so he can hit. Just, man, guys get into a funk. Hard to get out of it.
Swings up, takes a strike. He had 2 homers in the Tennessee series. He had 1 in game 1, another in game 3. Those are the last home runs that he has hit. And a total of 3 on the season. Shoots this one to right field, and coming in, that bounces in. Stewart able to cut it off. Made a nice play. That ball skips by him, and Seals is off to the races. But that ends the over there for Pierre Seals. So I guess we did the reverse jinx on him right there.
All you had to do is bring it up. Yeah. I'll tell you what, this play by Zach Stewart is either going to be a single or a triple, maybe a home run, because that was a short hop pick out in right field, and I was cringing up here in the box.
Well, he made the play.
Well, he's just going in, nothing. Not even thinking anything about it.
After the 2-out single, Knutson comes up. Rolled out to the right side a couple innings ago, so he's 0 for 1. Has made one spectacular play at third base on a dive and throw short time ago.
Let's see if Carrick Jackson keeps a foot on the gas pedal. I'm looking over at Seals. Not a big lead. If he's going to go first move. As soon as Dietz picks up that foot, he's gone.
First move was back. Ball hit into right field, and still had to extend a little bit. Stewart makes the catch to retire the side. The Tigers strand a runner in the fourth.
Well, we got us a little pitcher's duel going on. Hunter Dietz, you take away my fastball in the first inning. Here's my slider, my curveball, my cutter. He's got 5 punch-outs already coming here into the 5th. And then Josh McDevitt struggled a little bit with command early, and it has been all 4-seam fastballs. You're going to see one changeup for a punch-out, but other than that, he has been lights out.
Hey, you look at the numbers for each starting pitcher.
If you told me a 30-mile-an-hour wind blowing out to left and we were going to have a pitcher's duel going into the 5th here, I would have said no.
Especially after 3 pitches into the bottom of the first, there were 3 runs for Mizzou.
Yeah.
Would have been not believable, but that's what we've gotten so far. Both pitchers have settled in. It really was the command issues in the first inning for McDevitt that he seems to have overcome to this point. As you mentioned with Dietz, adjusted his game and pitch selection after the 2 quick home runs from Mizzou in the first.
There's a little adjustment right there by McDevitt. His first breaking ball, he lands for a strike. His low arm slot makes it really difficult for him to create the 12-6 spin. So the ball kind of comes off. It either gets pulled or it gets left arm side. But if he's able to land that at 50%, it's going to wreak havoc with his fastball because it's going to be coming out of that same tunnel.
Nine 1 and 2 hitters. Make that 8 9 and 1 hitters for the Razorbacks here in the 5th. And a quick strikeout, number 8 tonight for McDevitt, and he's fanned 3 of the last 4 Arkansas hitters.
It's just a really nice hook. Really is. It's just, like I said, really hard for him to create that spin, but when he does, it is really good. And if he starts landing it, and he's landed 2 right there, it's going to be a problem.
Third baseman TJ Pompey.
Never fails. Pay a compliment, and it's like, yeah, pull one 5 feet wide.
Didn't stick the landing that time. And he's back on that horse with the heater.
I've seen Pompey enough. I don't think I would throw him a get-me-over breaking ball, ever. He's up there early in the count looking to ambush and do some damage, and he usually does his damage to the pole side, left field.
Have a chance to talk with Coach Van Horn here shortly as you look at Pompey, who had a 2-run home run Tuesday against Missouri State. 9th of the season. He's looking to turn on that.
He had a couple of home runs against Alabama late to blow things open. And talked to him after the game, and he was just like, I was up there hunting a slider, and I got it. I'm like, well, it's not that easy, but yeah, you did get it.
Pompey takes that in the air deep to right field. This is well hit. Seals back at the fence, and it's out of here. TJ Pompey goes the other way to right field, hits his 10th of the year, and gets the Razorbacks on the board here in the 5th.
Well, this guy can flat out hit, man, and he's batting in the 9-hole, so it says a lot about how deep this lineup is. Second time around, he saw the fastball. He struck out on it. In the second inning, this fastball up and out. He drives with it, stays with it, drives it out to right. That was a bomb.
Yeah, wind had nothing to do with that ball getting out. That ball was torched.
I think it was cutting through the wind. I think the wind might have been kind of hurting.
The only thing it did, it pushed it a little bit more towards center field. But other than that, it didn't affect the distance at all. That was coming off the bat strong.
Well, if that wasn't out at one of the deepest parts of the ballpark, I think he might have had a little bit more time to enjoy the view.
2 balls and a strike. Top of the order now, Rutenbar. By the way, that's the 8th homer that McDevitt has allowed this season. 57 innings or so on the season. Rutenbar gets jammed and pops it up to third. Knudsen is out number 2. Coming up Sundays, the Raleigh Cap crew will break down the SEC baseball and softball weekend. The highlights, analysis, and interviews, and they'll get you set for the upcoming week. We'll look at the best matchups. Coverage begins 6 Eastern, 5 Central here on SEC Network and the ESPN app. My Sunday's not complete without Luch and Haley and Dari. It's a good way to end the weekend. Pompey's solo shot. And the Razorbacks' first run of the game.
That might be the first time I have not seen a hitter in the dugout after he hits a home run and is not explaining it to about 3 different guys on what he saw, what he hit. Because everybody in the dugout already knows he hit a fastball, and they've seen a dozen fastballs already. So it's like, yeah, we don't want to hear it. We're not hitting it yet, but yeah.
Blast by Pompey. His 24th RBI, shortening up, taking a strike. Ruiz 1-2. Walking a ground out for Damian so far tonight. Big series for Ruiz last weekend. Even though they dropped 2 or 3 to Georgia after winning the opener, he was 5 of 10 with a homer, 7 RBIs, a couple steals. He walked 3 times in game 3 against Georgia, so he was constantly on base. Rips one to center field, but coming in, that ball sinks into the mid pier to retire the side. But Pompey hits one hard the other way.
Seen enough fastballs. He gets one up and out, and he takes it up and out. Arkansas on the board.
We'll chat with Coach Van Horn when we come back to Columbia. Right as we came back from break, we're showing Pompey taking his warm-ups at third base. Let me start right there, Coach. That shot the other way to Pompey, man, that was quite an at-bat.
Yeah, he's got some really good opposite field power. You know, he hits but half his home runs have been that way.
Seems like every time I see him, he goes up there hunting a pitch, he gets it and does some damage.
Yeah, we needed that. You know, we had an opportunity in the first, didn't get the hit, and then I think we had a runner at third last inning before. We didn't get the runner in, and then it was nice to get that one right there, at least cut into it a little bit. I think both pitchers are about the same in pitch count, so see if we can get through this inning.
Yeah, it's nice to see Hunter Dietz's adjustment after that first inning of getting ambushed for fastballs.
Yeah.
Coach, we'll leave it there. Appreciate the time.
Okay, all right.
That is bunted, and there's Dietz fielding his position well. They get Frost bunting to begin the bottom of the 5th. It takes a strike. At the first pitch of the game from Dietz, out for a home run in the first inning. And he adjusts here. Interesting to see the little game within the game between those two. Woida struck out last time up after homering to begin the game, and that time just very casually just guides it into center field.
Well, he's very comfortable in his own skin, man. He is up. He is not in the back of the batter's box. He is up. And even on that first pitch home run, he is up in the box. So that gives him a chance to get some breaking balls a little bit early before they really get to the back end of the break. He gets a breaking ball there and takes it back up.
Durnan bouncing ball to short. Kozel to second for one. Relay in time. Second double play turned by the Razorbacks in this game. Or let's see if Mizzou is going to challenge us, and we'll see if this call will stand or not. Oh, now they're going to call the out anyway. Not sure if they're calling that the runner coming into second, Woida, may have affected Kozel. Nonetheless, it will go as a double play. It's a 4-pitch inning for Dietz. Sorry, we mentioned right at the top of the telecast that folks, the attention may be a little diverted with the NFL draft. We appreciate that. Double dipping SEC football and baseball.
Yeah, that was nice.
All right, let's take you back to this last play. They call Woida out for coming in at second base, but nothing going on here except Souza just kind of falling down and bought that call, and the umpires bought it because that was the call. It wasn't. It was that Woida came in,
yeah,
and interfered, and he did not.
Now we had another look from behind first base, and it was a clean slide straight into the bag, no contact. And just one of those where, yep, I don't know what to say.
That ball's hammered down the right field side. Takes a bounce right up against to the top of the fence. And Kojal chugging in for second. He goes in with a head first slide. 15th double of the year for Cam Kojal. Just like that, Razorbacks are going to have the potential tying run at the plate and their cleanup hitter up.
Man, they get one run last inning. They get a 4-pitch inning here. Change up left inner part of the plate, and Kojal drills it. And you just feel that momentum kind of shifting over to Arkansas right now. McDevitt's got to find a way to get through this inning right here.
It's a first pitch strike to Ryder Helfrich. He has been on base twice. Walked in the first, single to center in the fourth. This next pitch from McDevitt will be his 90th of the game. And he's ahead 0-2.
Helfrich has been the man in SEC play. 7 home runs. Has really been their main guy.
It's challenged and wave and a miss. So McDevitt bounces back and gets a strikeout, his 9th of the game. It's the first out here of the 6th.
Well, first fastball's at 92, painted on the outside corner. Next one's a curveball. So now Helfrich is in between fastball, curveball on this 0-2 pitch. And that in between allows McDevitt to go with a better fastball at 93, right down Broadway, right past Helfrich.
And once again, a first pitch strike from Josh McDevitt. Souza had the walk in the first, a strikeout in the fourth.
Well, even bigger on getting Helfrich was that Kojal is still at second base. He didn't get a ground ball to the right side. He didn't get a sac fly. He didn't get anything to get that runner over to third base. It was just a 3-pitch punch out.
And I think that's why we saw Helfrich kind of scolding himself going back to the dugout.
Yeah.
It was not a productive out. Runner takes off for third, and throw is there. Got him. Cerna throws a strike, and now Souza holding his right leg as he gets up slowly. And that was strike 3 as well to end the inning. So they get to strike him out, throw him out, double play. We'll check on Kojal as well here.
Backdoor breaking ball, gets the punch out from his knees. Cerna throws a dime. Bang, bang.
And
you know what? Was his foot in between Knutson's foot?
We're going to look at this, it appears.
Okay. Arkansas is challenging the ruling on the field of out at third base. This play is under further review.
Well, the strikeout at Souza is the 10th of the game for McDevitt, which ties a career high for him. He had 10 against Auburn earlier this season. Arkansas has challenged the call on the field of out at third base on the steal attempt by Cam Kojal. Watch that right foot coming in. And the tag from Knutson. Foot.
After review,
Base.
the runner is out at third base. Arkansas loses the challenge. They have 1 remaining.
I was just about to say, I think there's a chance they may overturn this call, and they do not.
No, I think he slid into Knutson's foot.
There you go. There's the answer. Inning over. Well, my war eagle-eyed partner who played at Auburn caught this, and let's take a closer look at the slide by Kojal at third base. You'll notice his right foot, as Greg mentioned, is right as we were going to break. He slid into the foot of Knutson, and it looked painful for both players.
Yeah, really. It really does. Knutson's not getting there on purpose. He's rushing to get to the bag because there's a throw coming. You don't have time to get your feet set, and Kojal slid right into that foot. I don't know if he ever touched third base, ever.
And I think that's probably why Kojal was slow to get up, the way that ankle twisted.
Yeah. I thought Knutson might be walking off limping.
Well, whacked into right field by Blaze Ward. And the Mizzou true freshman leads off the bottom half with a base hit.
He just hits, Mark.
He does indeed. That's
He's
what
just
he does.
hits.
He's just a hitter.
I mean, this one's a curveball that he gets, and it's a little elevated in inner half, but base hit.
We'll take a look at this weekend's SEC Network featured games. Game 2. As this ball is going to bounce in the air and allow the runner to go down to second. Weird play here on the pitch by Dietz.
I don't know. It was spiked in the dirt and must have come off a Helfrich and went 20 feet up in the air.
Straight in the air, which allowed Ward to go down to second base.
I think Blaze Ward initially hesitated because he's going, that ball's in the air, and I'm not supposed to run when balls are bunted in the air. We saw Carrick Jackson having a conversation with Caden Peer, and a lot of it was going to be, hey, if this happens, this comes up, I want you to lay down a bunt, I want you to be prepared to sacrifice. Then all of a sudden that ball in the dirt, now they're trusting Caden Peer to hit a ball to the right side and get Blaze Ward over to third. And that's his whole job right now. Base hit would be great, wonderful. But that man wants to see Caden Peer get a ground ball to the right side and get that runner over to third.
Bouncy ball towards short. Runner heading for third. Throw there. There's the tag. Got him. Kojal never hesitated. Ward breaking on contact, gambled, and loses that time. And they get the lead runner for the first out.
I'm sorry, that's just inexperience. You cannot give up that position. You're in scoring position already. You cannot take this. You do not run with the ball in front of you. That's just an easy out for a veteran shortstop.
Well, now you have Pierre running at first base with 1 out. Mateo Cerna. And another check on the base runner.
Man, as a pitcher, what a relief that is. You know, I throw a wild pitch after a base hit. I got a runner on second, nobody out. They're trying to bunt. And then all of a sudden I get a ground ball to shortstop and he gets wiped out at third for the first out. Thank you.
Paying very close attention to Pierre, who has 6 steals on the season. He's been caught 4 times. Dietz pumps in a strike.
Dietz is doing a nice job of managing. All right, so I talked about it earlier. You got out against a left-handed pitcher, you got to go first move. So his first move the last 3 times has been just little quick flips over to first base, look meaningless. But if Pierre's going first move, they're going to see it. And then Dietz comes up the next time and he goes quick slide step towards home, making things very difficult on Pierre to get a read on what he's doing on the mound.
You saw that last graphic. If Dietz were able to throw out the first 3 pitches of the game, he'd be working on a shutout right here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shell shock, but he woke up, he got everything cleaned up, made an adjustment, and here we are in the bottom of the 6th, and those same 3 runs, and nothing's been added.
And since then, Mizzou has gotten a runner into scoring position twice in the second through this inning, including just a few moments ago when you had Ward at second with nobody out.
Yeah, well, you saw Carrick Jackson. He is going to have that conversation at some point with Blaze Ward.
Cerna waited, got a piece to foul it off. Dietz comes back and gets the strikeout of Cerna. 2 down.
Still pumping 95 after showing a bunch of breaking balls. That 95 is just too much for Cerna.
7 strikeouts for Dietz here with 2 outs in the 6th. Now 85 pitches into this. That's popped up third base side in foul ground near the dugout and just out of play. Pompey gave it a good look. That was really close to Madeline over there. You okay, Madeline? Got a thumbs up? There you go.
Thumbs up. Leave the camera, get out of the way.
Exactly. You have
full permission.
100% permission to always do that. Safety first. She's been well trained. 0-1. 95.
I think he's getting stronger.
That was just straight cheddar there, man.
Yeah. Well, that's what they say about all the great pitchers, man. You better get them early, or else once they get on a roll, good luck.
Dietz goes to that breaking ball, whacked out of reach. Kojal dropped into center with 2 outs. Pierre was able to take off on contact, and he advances all the way to third. A little blue base hit there. Vincent reaches. Mizzou's got a little something going here with 2 outs.
Yeah, breaking ball a little bit elevated. Benson's tied up, but he's able to fist it off into center field. And now how big is that 6-5 put out for the first out of this inning? would have come in to score right there.
Yeah, if you're Mizzou, that's stinging a little bit right now. Now, maybe if you can keep this 2-out stuff going along, it wouldn't hurt as badly. But right now, yeah, that's a big play in this inning.
It absolutely is. If I'm in that dugout right now and I'm Blaze Ward, I'm probably on the other side of the dugout away from the coaching staff because I'm just cringing when that base hit falls in.
And Hobbs out, the pitching coach. Well, Gackle is up. We were talking with Coach Van Horn earlier today, and we said, hey, if Gackle doesn't pitch in the first 2 games, is he a candidate to start game 3? And he said, absolutely. But
yeah.
Games 1 and 2, we'll see if we get there. And he's up in the pen here now.
Well, all these head coaches of teams in the SEC know how important game 1 is to win, and then you deal with game 2 on day 2. But how about Dietz? Last 20 pitches, 18 strikes.
Bouncy ball towards the middle. Souza gets the big hop, throws to first, and Razorbacks keep the Tigers off the board in the 6th. Mizzou misses a chance. They strand a pair in the 6th. Coming up Sunday morning, we'll have the men's golf championship from Sea Island Golf Club for the 25th straight year. 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, right here on SEC Network. And the ESPN app, match play format dependent and determining the SEC title. They have a really cool giveaway for the students. It's like a Mizzou Masters golf type hat.
I didn't get one of those.
It sounds like you are asking for one.
Those are pretty cool.
They are very cool. You apparently needed a voucher for it, and is it correct? It was only for students, I believe, is the case. So, unless you can quickly enroll, get yourself a voucher.
I'll work on it.
Yeah. I don't know. We may be able to find you one somewhere. hey! I bet you if you offer him a few dollars, you can buy a hat.
I got to find somebody out in the parking lot after the game.
That's a legal transaction, is it?
It is.
All right. It's a cool hat, though. Very nice. Well done. 0-1 pitch. Stewart fouls it. Well, you mentioned it last inning. You could kind of feel momentum shifting towards the Razorbacks. Mizzou had a chance in that last inning, if they could have gotten that run in, to kind of stem that tide. But now you still kind of feel that Arkansas push on the other side.
Yeah, you do. But, I mean, we both innings, last inning, had the leadoff runner at second base with nobody out.
And McDevitt now has a new career high with his 11th strikeout as he Ks Stewart to begin the 7th inning.
This one was all hooks. I mean, how about that? He's starting to find the hook, and this thing's nasty. A little backup piece. That was one thing I was trying to throw my whole life, was get one that was breaking away from lefties. There's no mathematical way for me to create that spin.
3 consecutive strikeouts now for McDevitt as he got the final 2, Helfrich and Souza in the 6th. Now Stewart to start the 7th. Eloy is the batter. Hio's fouled out and struck out looking. That takes a huge hack. Came up empty, 0-2.
Well, if I am changing shoes right here and I'm Josh McDevitt, I am throwing that fastball right above the waist as hard as I can physically throw a baseball. Or you can wipe out a curveball.
Didn't take your advice. And he had thrown 13 consecutive strikes until burying that.
Well, I mean, I love that pitch. That was my out pitch on 0-2, was burying a hook. But as good as his fastball is and as well as it plays, now he's got 2 strikeouts in a row on curveballs. That's got everybody's attention. That 4-seam fastball would be by everybody.
Man, we see it here. Well, if it was not in the location that you were mentioning, but it was the fastball.
That was it. That was it. He just amped up a little too much like he was doing in the first inning and just pulled it glove side.
Very close pitch. Taken by Eloy. He stays up there at a full count now. Maybe a little out?
A couple inches. 3 or 4. Yeah.
3rd full count of the game for McDevitt, but his first since the first inning. And he lost a ball 4 low.
Man, he was in complete command of that at bat. 0-2. Tries for a wipeout breaking ball. Misses fastball, fastball, fastball. That's going to get some alarms going off in that dugout and in that bullpen. With this wind blowing out to left.
Some activity in the Tiger pen. Trey Lawrence is up. That walk for McDevitt is 4th of the game, but his first since the first inning when he walked 3 hitters in the first. And here comes Coach Jackson. 103 pitches for McDevitt.
Well, look at McDevitt. I think he's fighting for that spot. If Garrett Jackson's given him an opening, I was only able to talk my way into staying on the mound 1 time in my career. It's hard to do, but if a coach comes out there with an open mind, you better come up with something good.
He's staying in there.
You can see Knutson was laughing over there. He was just, give me one more guy. Give me one more guy.
Who'd you talk into letting you stay in the game?
Buck Showalter.
It was Buck, really? Okay. In Arizona?
Yeah. Yeah, I gave him a rational argument.
Oh, wow. Stunning.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
All right, Reese Robinette's the hitter. He represents the tying run at the plate, and McDevitt almost threw that away. Wojda able to come off the bag to keep that from bouncing around the right field foul territory.
See that a lot, man. As a right-handed pitcher, you got to throw over a couple times. It's like warm-ups. You got to get a feel for where that first baseman is. He's completely behind you.
Robinette looks like he went around, and he did on the appeal down to third base umpire Matthew Wilbanks. 0 for 2 tonight. Robinette, a couple of strikeouts, both swinging.
If I'm McDevitt, I'm going, where was the pitch? Just call the pitch. I don't need the check swing.
And that time, that's exactly what happens. Called strike. Now with 2 strikes, Mizzou will do the shift. And they'll take Knutson and put him in the hole on the right side. 3 defenders on that right side. That's hit down the left field side, angling towards the corner. That lands in fair. Played on the bounce by Frost. Head first slide into third by the lead runner, Eloy. It's a double for Robinette, his 12th of the year, and now the Hogs have the tying runs in scoring position with only one out.
Man, McDevitt has been so good. He'd had Robinette. He struck him out in the second on a fastball in, struck him out in the fifth on a curveball. He's got him 0-2 here. He's got him any which way he wants him, except for a fastball outer part of the plate, not elevated. And Robinette laces it down the left field line, and here comes Arkansas.
And though McDevitt may have talked his way into staying for one more hitter, that extra base hit is what will chase him as Coach Jackson back out. And Mizzou will indeed make the pitching change, and after 106 pitches, they'll lift the starter Josh McDevitt here in the 7th. So with the Mizzou pitching change, the tying runs in scoring position, we'll step aside.
McDevitt was really good. Talked about the fastballs, 11 punch outs, a lot of them fastballs early, couple of changeups on those, and then all of a sudden about the 5th inning, here comes this nasty overhand hook. And he kept this Arkansas offense at bay until these last 2 hitters, and he had both of them 0-2.
Now, sophomore Trey Lawrence, who was a position player last year and now a pitcher this season, takes over.
Yep. Trey's going to feature a fastball 92 to 95, slider 81 to 84. He's got a high miss rate against right-handed hitters on this slider. 2-0 on the year, 4.5 ERA, 13th appearance.
Lawrence pitched a couple innings in his last appearance on the 18th of April at OU. Did not allow a run, just 1 hit with 3 strikeouts. And he's going to inherit a couple base runners. He's going to face TJ Pompey coming up. McDevitt's line still in flux here, but at the moment just the 1 earned run allowed, and that 1 earned run was the Pompey home run to the opposite field in his last at bat.
He was really good. He just, you know what, got a little careless on the 0-2s, didn't put away Aloy, and then Robinette, fastball was just too good, too much of the plate.
And here's the home run by Pompey. What a bat he had here.
I mean, I've seen this guy a couple times now. He will go hunting a pitch. And I guarantee you, he's going to go up there hunting that Trey Lawrence slider. Watch out, because he's got serious pop to all fields. And he is loving these big moments.
Well, tying runs in scoring position for Pompey, whose home run to right. You just saw the 5th inning, his 10th of the year. Eric Masonette has taken over at second base for Mizzou. First pitch, fastball, strike. So Masonette takes over at second base for the freshman Blaze Ward. Just like that, 0-2. Razorbacks 0 for 5 so far tonight with runners in scoring position.
You see why that slider's got such a miss rate against righties. Big sweeping slider with some down angle.
Nicely blocked and contained by Cerna to prevent it from getting away.
I mean, is Carrick Jackson making a point with Blaze Ward?
I think that's a distinct possibility here. We might not find out the answer till postgame, but swing and a miss. Lawrence comes in, gets a huge strikeout out of the Tiger bullpen for the second out.
Pompey comes in hitting 189 against right-handed sliders. And McDevitt's going, yeah, man, leave those 2 runs right there. I got a chance for a W and 1 Ernie and 6 1/3. Please pick me up.
Top of the order, 2 outs. All 1 outside to Carter Rutenbar.
Well, when you got a young team, Mark, you got to make your point. That was bad base running. It cost this team a run. And even though Blaze Awards is one of their young, promising stars, that's a big point.
It is, and I'm sure that's probably a question that Coach Jackson will probably be asked post-game.
Yeah.
And if not, you and I will ask it tomorrow when we see him. There's a 1-1 pitch. Bouncy ball up the middle, into center field. That is going to tie the game. The freshman Carter Rutenbar right back up the middle. His 12th and 13th RBIs of the season, and it's a 3-3 game.
Coach Van Horn talked about him a lot in our conversation today, where, you know what, if he struggles early, he's going to find a way to get the bat to the ball late in the game and do something. This is doing something. He gets a fastball outer part of the plate, takes it right back up the box. Trey Lawrence tries to play a hockey goalie and knock it down.
So those runs charged to McDevitt. That closes the book on him. Ruiz, the hitter, takes down and away. Well, to your point again, we asked Coach Van Horn about Rutenbar, and he said, you know what? He may have a bad at bat early. That's not going to affect him late in the game. We may have just seen an example of that here.
Yep. He was exactly right. Found a way to impact the game. A nice piece of hitting, 2 out RBI.
And didn't try to do too much there. I mean, it was just hitting the right place.
Yeah.
Just enough velo to get out of the infield.
Rutenberg, not a big threat to run, 2 stolen bases on the year. He's your prototypical leadoff hitter in the fact that he sees a lot of pitches, competitive at bats, might not steal a lot of bags.
Let's take a look at this weekend's SEC Network featured baseball games. It's a couple of game 2s on Saturday. Number 7 Texas A&M takes on number 21 Florida at 5 Eastern, 4 Central. And then it's Vandy hosting number 4 Texas from Nashville. Both games also available on the ESPN app. Zoo with 3 in the first. Arkansas's come back. They have tied it. 3-3 top of the 7th.
You're getting a couple guys coming up now. Koziel and Helfrich. You got danger zone, 3-1 count to Ruiz.
Courtesy throw from Lawrence over to first.
Well, here's the thought now. You're standing on the mound. You're Trey Lawrence going, all right, I'm hit or miss landing my slider right now. I'm going to have to throw a fastball. Do I throw it here or do I face Koziel coming up?
Bouncy ball to short. Nice room service hop there for Thurman, who gets it to Masonette to retire the side. But a huge 2-out hit by the freshman. Rutenbar ties the game. Time to stretch. Catch you up. First inning, first pitch of the game from Hunter Dietz. Jace Royda deep into the bullpen. 2 pitches later, Ward, 2-run homer. 3 pitches in the game, 3-0 Mizzou. Arkansas starts their rally in the 5th. Pompey, opposite field home run to right. And then the freshman, Rutenblar, with 2 outs up the middle, brings in Aloy and Robinette to tie the game. And disappointing there for the Mizzou starter as McDevitt. Looks like he's going to get a no decision in this game. You take a look at the game summary. Arkansas has made their way back out of that early hole.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? The game's not fair. He does not deserve a no decision. But baseball's not fair, man. You got out there, you had a chance. You had a chance to put him away. And here we got Hunter Dietz still left standing after that first inning.
And coming up on 90 pitches.
Well, that 4-pitch inning helped, and
that was the
a couple
5th.
of the 10-pitch innings helped.
And he's ahead 0-2 to Knutson. Mizzou with the 8, 9, and 1 part of the order up here in the home half of the 7th. Knutson is grounded to second and fly to right. Nice bare hand snag there by the Tiger first base coach Jabari Brown. Waiting to find someone to give that souvenir to. Well, for Hunter Dietz, 29 of his last 31 pitches have been strikes. That's absurd.
That hasn't been the issue. You know, I mean, we had a hit by pitch. We had 1 walk. He has been pounding the zone.
Bouncy ball out to third, right near the line. That's a fair ball and played by Pompey. The stretch by Robinette at first. And Arkansas retires the leadoff hitter, Knutson, in the 7th.
I mean, the issue with Hunter Dietz was that he was throwing too many strikes. Missouri knew that he was going to be throwing strikes, and early on they wanted to establish the fastball, so their guys went up there hunting first pitch fastballs. They got him, did some damage.
There's pretty much been the first 3 pitches of the game for Dietz, and then the next 91 that he has thrown now at 94 pitches.
Yeah, it's been a lot more breaking ball heavy, but he's got a mix of slider, curveball, cutter, and those 3 different weapons are completely different, and so it's different looks coming in for these Missouri hitters. And he'll use the fastball late. You might see a 95 right here.
Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Or just a nasty wipeout slider that's just barely across the bottom of home plate. Gives a long impression to Isaiah Frost that this ball is coming across home plate and might be a strike.
Well, Dietz has us guessing up here, and he's got the Mizzou hitters guessing, I think, down there right now.
No, I mean, that was a really nice one. I'm just going, if he wants to throw a 95 right here, he's still got it in the tank.
It's good to have those options.
Yeah.
Top of the order, Woida. Who hit the first pitch of the game from Dietz for a home run, and Dietz gets the call on the low part of the zone there.
That was a whole different fastball than the one that he threw Woida to start off the game.
That had a little extra zip to it.
96 painted down and away. I was about to say, I don't think Woid has seen a fastball since the one that he took out to left.
You saw that one as it went by. And now he goes back to the breaking ball, and it's 2-2. Well, Woida had the homer in the first on the first pitch, struck out in the third, and then Woida adjusted. Got a base hit to center last time up. Now this game, the cat and mouse brings a 2-2 pitch, and he goes back to the heat. And at 96 again, left it up just a hair.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of adrenaline going on, okay, you got me in the first. I'm angry now. You know, Dietz is sniffing a win.
Bouncy ball towards the middle. Cheating that way was Kojal. Has time to set and throw him out. Down in order go the Tigers in the 7th. This tie game is going to go to the 8th. 3, 4, 5 due up for Arkansas. That means the cleanup hitter Helfrich we're going to see second in the next inning.
He has been their main guy in SEC play with 7 bombs. He's got a chance coming up this next inning.
We get a relatively rare game 1 on a Thursday night here in Columbia. Arkansas and Mizzou. Mizzou got out early. 3 pitches into the game up 3-0. Arkansas has methodically come back here in the middle innings. Now getting late. And we go to the top of the 8th inning. 3, 4, and 5 here for the Razorbacks. Kojal to lead off. Helfrich due up second. Souza third in the inning. 3-3 game. Lawrence off speed, ahead now 0-2. Now with 2 strikes, they'll shift the third baseman to second and second baseman to shortstop. It's all convoluted on the right side. You got 3 defenders over there. That's all you need to know.
They're just assuming that Kojal is going to pull this ball with 2 strikes. At least that's what analytics says. I've seen the analytics to all this, and there's shades of windows. There's not an exact science to any of it. And then, Mark, the more disturbing thing is if you watch it at the big league level when they were doing the real shifting all over the place, it really wasn't, they weren't pitching to it. So it's like, okay, I got my whole defense on the right side, and I'm throwing fastballs away, hypothetically, to this hitter. And I'm going, what are you doing?
That just missed.
At least Trey Lawrence is spinning this breaking ball down and in, which about the only thing Kojal can do with it is pull it to the right side.
Full count. Three and 2 on Kojal, leading off the Razorback 8th inning. Lawrence came in last inning with 1 out. In relief of the starter McDevitt. Yeah, he almost took that the other way.
Little excuse me, check me, this is going to be close.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the points right here that both of the coaches have been talking about for a while, is Missouri's got to find a way to learn how to win.
Whack to left field, back to make the catch. Well, Frost had to quickly react to that. It made the catch right on the edge of the warning track, but that's going to bring up Helfrich with the bases empty, 1 out.
I mean, while we're in football season right now, Mark, that ball looked like it got on top of him in a heartbeat.
It did.
Almost got into the body. You're supposed to catch it out front. Talking about Isaiah Frost out in left.
Yeah, he was backing up and it still got in on him. There's ball one upstairs to Helfrich. He's been on base twice. It's Frost in left field getting the start tonight. A walk, a single to center, strikeout last time for Helfrich.
Helfrich, this is his spot right here, man. He came up big in a couple different series. I think of one game in Auburn that he carried the whole load himself. Knocked in all 3 runs with 2 home runs.
Might have been looking fastball there. Didn't get it. Held up, 2 balls and a strike.
Well, welcome to the SEC. You think 2-0, I'm going to get a fastball in these spots. And
there he does get the fastball, and well placed by Lawrence.
That was a nice pitch sequence. It really was. You go 2-0 breaking ball. Now all of a sudden Helfrich moves off of the fastball. Then you buzz a fastball by him thinking you're on slider.
And he hits a ground ball out to shortstop. Firing to first. Vernon throws him out. Well, we're looking ahead at next week's featured softball matchup here on SEC Network. We'll have the series finale between number 2 Bama and number 9 Tennessee, the Lady Vols. Monday night coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 6 Central from Sherry Parker Leaf Stadium in Knoxville. The game's also available on your ESPN app. Ball 1 to Souza. Trey Lawrence has come in relief for Mizzou, and yes, he did give up the 2 inherited runners that scored on a ground ball up the middle, but in general, I know this sounds weird to say, he's pitched really well here, kind of the bullpen.
Yeah, no, he really has. He's gone through the middle of the lineup here, gave up that 1 single to Rutenbar. Other than that, settled down. He's got a chance to get out of this inning, and right now you're just looking to get your offense back up to the plate, put up a 0, and you're going to buy your offense. You got 6 outs right here to score a run. You get this guy right here. They're going to get 2 more ABs.
Souza tonight 0 for 2, a walk and a couple of strikeouts. Looking ahead at the Mizzou 8th, they have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up. And it runs to a full count on Souza. Seventh pitch of this at bat coming to the Razorback shortstop. And he works a 2-out walk. Second time Souza has reached tonight on the base on balls.
That was a really nice at bat by Souza, laying off those breaking balls, bottom of the zone. He is a definite threat to run, 10 stolen bases.
Caught twice. This certainly would seem to be a situation. Tie game, late, 2 outs. Ooh, almost got away from Cerna. Had to lay out for that. Had to do that a couple times tonight.
Yeah, that was a great play by Cerna. He's setting up away for a fastball, and you get a fastball pulled at the feet of Stewart. Not very often you see a catcher dive for a fastball.
Runner goes. Pitches a strike. Throw to second. Safe. The steal looked like the right spot to try. Souza does so. Mizzou's contemplating here, but it looked like real time that he got in safely and has his 11th stolen base, and they're going to let it ride.
Well, the bang play, really nice throw, good pitch to run on by Souza. There's a quick glimpse of where the Missouri defense was trying to come off the field, like Stewart interfered with the play, but there was nothing called.
Ate him up that time, in on Stewart. Lawrence ahead, a ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Potential go-ahead run in scoring position for the Razorbacks here in the 8th. 2-out walk to Souza. He stole second. 1-2 pitch. Outs foul. That's his career home run total. Spent 3 seasons at Missouri State. One of those years he had 21. That was 2 years ago in 2024. He takes it low.
Well, that's a great take.
It is.
I mean, he had 300 his first 2 years at Missouri State. He's always found a way to hit.
Had a hit against his old Missouri State team on Tuesday night. He'd love one to hear. And he blasts one deep. Right center field and into the evergreens. And he adds to his career home run total with his 7th of the season. And Arkansas has taken their first lead of the night.
Came into the game hitting 167 SEC play. That breaking ball that he took before that showed me that he is locked in and seeing that breaking ball really well. I got to do something different. I either got to move that breaking ball and locate it down and in, or throw a fastball up and out, reset everything. Lawrence goes with another breaking ball, leaves it hanging. Stewart pounds it through the trees. 109 exit velocity, any good, Mark?
That ain't bad. That was undressed and left the ballpark. That was pretty much a no-doubter off the bat.
No, Caden Pierre didn't move.
No.
And if you're wondering at home, the wind had no effect on that.
No. The 2 home runs that Arkansas's hit tonight in that part of the ballpark, the other by Pompey, the wind has played absolutely 0 part in that. That's softly towards the middle. Tough play. Sidearm throw in time. Nice play by Durnan. But the damage done. Stewart going deep for the 7th time as a Hog.
Zach Stewart, I've seen that slider once before. Takes it 450, exit velocity of 109. Arkansas up 2.
the real fun just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on.
Well, the Razorbacks made it to Omaha last year. 12th time in school history, dating back to 1979, which was the first time. Razorbacks have dug out of that early 3-0 hole. They lead at 5-3 as Mizzou comes up in the bottom of the 8th inning. The night is over for Hunter Dietz, and he gives way. Gackle comes out of the bullpen.
Solid effort by Hunter Dietz after that first inning. Really settled in. He's in line for the win. Gackle's going to feature a fastball 93 to 95. That overhand hook, a slider, a changeup. Unanimous first-team freshman All-American back in 2024. Another solid year last year, 19 games, 9 games started, 4-2. They tried him in the rotation earlier on this season. He's 5-3 with a 4.3, 14th game. He had 8 games started.
As you alluded to, Greg, first 8 were all starts. Now these last 6 in relief, and you can't help but be impressed by Hunter Dietz. After the first 3 pitches of this game, man, he just locked in, adjusted his game, and it was something to watch for a young pitcher.
It really was. I mean, Carrick Jackson talked about it, going, hey, you know what? They're going to come out and establish the fastball. That's what Hunter Dietz was trying to do. Missouri took it away. He quickly moved to a lot of first pitch early breaking balls and then fastballs late, and just absolutely dominated the rest of the game.
2-2 to Dern, and he fouls it away. 101 pitches for Dietz, 73 of them were strikes. How about this? In his last 34 pitches of the game, only 5 were not strikes.
That's just unbelievable. I mean, my Auburn math again is about 72.5% strike ratio.
How's that Auburn math when you can 72.3%? Very nice.
Thank you.
3-2 pitch. Gackle gets a strikeout at Durnan to begin the Tiger 8th inning.
Gackle struggled with that breaking ball early in that count. You saw him a couple times turning around, shaking it off after it got fouled off. And this punch out is strictly due to 3-2. You're not getting a fastball. Here's my best slider, perfectly located. A lot of guts to throw that breaking ball right there, 3-2 with a 2-run lead.
First to bat for Eric Maysedette. He came in defensively at second base for Ward an inning ago. Makes his first plate appearance of the night. Facing Gackle, who pitched twice in the series against Georgia last weekend. Pitched pretty well in the first one in relief. Allowed 1 run in 2 innings. Then got hit for 2 earned runs in an inning and a third in his last appearance on the 18th. At the end of that series in Game 3 against Georgia.
Well, he was kind of a piece of that Dave Van Horn move of making people uncomfortable and making some moves. Gackle was their Friday night starter. He was their ace.
He comes out and on 3 pitches, it's a strikeout of Maysedette. So Gackle has fanned the first 2, and that adds to the total after 8 strikeouts for Dietz tonight.
And he was just a little bit off. This is not off by any stretch of the imagination. This is not the guy that was starting out on Friday night and struggling. This guy is back to that freshman year mode where he was absolutely dominant.
Here waves and misses. That freshman year, all 19, actually 22 of his appearances for Gackle came in relief. 19 appearances last year, 9 of those were starts, and made 4 relief appearances in the NCAA tournament last season. And he is flirting with a very quick inning here after 2 strikeouts to begin the frame, and now as Pierre at 0-2. And the Hog fans from Fayetteville sitting behind the first base dugout on their feet. Gackel K's the side. Hey, take a look at this upcoming weekend's SEC Network featured baseball games. Couple of game twos on Saturday. Number 7 Texas A&M taking on number 21 Florida. That begins at 5 Eastern, 4 Central, and then Vanderbilt hosts number 4 Texas from Hawkins Field in Music City, Nashville. Both games also available on the ESPN app. Guy on the right's got a big smile. He's got the go-ahead home run in this game in the 8th inning. 2-run shot into the trees in right center field. There's Zach Stewart. And new pitcher, third pitcher in this game now for Mizzou as Ian Losey takes over.
Yeah, veteran pitcher, senior, fastball 90-92, cutter, slider.
After Mizzou scored 3 runs on the first 3 pitches of the game from Razorback starter Hunter Dietz, it's been now 5 unanswered from the Razorbacks. That's where Stewart hit his home run.
Somewhere over those
Somewhere
trees.
into those trees, yeah, or over.
That makes your DH night a lot better. You know, when you got to sit on the bench all game and you only get like 4 at bats and you're struggling all day, and then all of a sudden
makes a 1 for 4 look a lot better.
you hit a moonshot.
Yeah. Reese Robinette leads off top of the ninth, lefty against lefty. Ball 1 from Losey.
th appearance for Losey. 9 2/3 innings, 10 hits given up.
Robinette with a double in his last at bat. He and Aloy would later score when Rudenbar had the big 2-out, 2-run single, tied the game in the 7th, and then Stewart untied it with that home run in the 8th.
Right now, if you're Missouri, man, you get a 0 put up right here. You still got that gale force wind blowing out to left. Get a guy on, anything can happen.
Rio's strike from Losey.
Losey's got a little pocket of Robinette being a lefty, Pompey righty, Rutenbar lefty, Kojal lefty.
Losey, who's been called on to close out games many times for Mizzou. In fact, he leads their staff with 4 saves, but in the game here with the Tigers down 2, top of the 9th. Mizzou will try to keep this a 2-run game to send it to the bottom half. We are right back here tomorrow for Game 2 on SEC Network. 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central for Game 2 of this series between the Razorbacks and Tigers. Open A ball 4 and a walk. Puts Robinette on to begin the top of the 9th. 6 walks tonight by Mizzou pitching, but 3 of those came to the first 5 hitters of the game. And that's really when the starter Josh McDevitt was trying to find his command when he struck out 3 and walked 3 in the first inning for Mizzou.
Yeah, and then another big one last inning right before the Zach Stewart home run. 2 outs. Walker Souza, Stewart home run.
I think we just had a clock violation. So a strike is assessed to Pompey.
Was not alert and ready by 8 seconds.
There goes the runner. The pitch is a strike. The throw to second. Out is the call. Robinette caught stealing for the first time at 4 tries this year. And to get that tag down quickly, and they did. And Robinette for the first out.
Cerna's thrown out about 18% of the runners. Nice play right here. Very athletic by Masonette to catch that ball and get that tag on the knee. That's a good way to get out of a jam. I like caught stealings on the first guy, my first out.
Yeah, both sides have, for the most part, defended those well. We've seen both catchers throw well tonight. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, strike 3. So suddenly it's bases empty, 2 outs.
Backdoor slider by Losi. Starts this thing off in the left-handed batter's box, catches the outside corner. It's looking like Arkansas might add one right there, and they're in a decent position. All of a sudden, 2 outs.
And top of the order, Carter Rutenbar, who has one of the 3 monster hits in this game for Arkansas. The first was the Pompey home run that got him on the board in the 5th, but Rutenbar's 2-out, 2-run single 2 innings later in the 7th tied the game, and then of course the Stewart 2-run homer last inning. Arkansas was 6 hits in the game, and on a night when the wind's been blown out to left center field, that's probably not as high a total as we anticipated at this point in the game, but they've been very effective hits when they've needed them, some very productive hits.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the way the wind was blowing, gusts up to 30 miles an hour, going, hey, thought this might be a slugfest, and end up turning into a pitcher's duel.
Dietz and McDevitt both threw very well for their respective teams right now. McDevitt, who won't get a decision, but Dietz is sitting in position to pick up a win if his team can hang on. Looking for his 5th. Three balls and a strike on Rutenbar. Miles per hour. Looked like Rutenbar was geared up, just couldn't locate it. 3-2. And he loses on his 2nd walk of the inning. Ball 4 to Rutenbar will extend the 9th for the Razorbacks.
It's just the veteran experience out there by Losi. Look at Matthew Cerna. Mateus Cerna, excuse me, just putting his arm around him going, all right, I know you're struggling, 9 balls out of the 16. You're almost able to get out of this jam.
So as Ruiz comes up, Arkansas is going to bring a runner off the bench for Rutenbar. Christian Turner is the pinch runner, number 16, and they're going to use a little timeout here to talk things over with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th and a 2-run lead.
Yeah, this is just getting on the same page of what they're doing, trying to create a little bit of movement. Might see a hit and run. This is always a red flag for me standing on the mound going, all right, you guys are talking about me. And I know you guys are going to try to do something kind of funny, so I got red flags everywhere. I'm ready for you. So it might be a first move, taken off and steal, hit and run. Something to try to get some runners into scoring position for Kojal and Helfrich coming up next.
Just adding to the insecurities of the pitcher, huh? It sounds like
Yeah, well, when you got 4 or 5 guys over in one thing, and you know they're talking about you.
Yeah, you didn't need to see a psychiatrist after the game, did you? A sports psychologist?
Well, that's why I could never pitch with all that technology, and you're telling me what pitch I'm supposed to throw next. I had enough voices in my head. That
Ruiz takes away, and a snag by Cerna. No hits tonight for Ruiz. Ruiz did walk, steal a base, and was stranded at third in the first inning. Lined out sharply to center in the 5th. Got under one. Let's see if it's got enough distance. It's going to hit in the air to deep right field, and in front of the track is run down by Caden Pierre. Last chance for the Tigers. Cerna, Benson, and Seals due up in the bottom half. Razorbacks take a 5-3 lead to the bottom of the 9th. As you can see, they've been battling back since a 3-run Mizzou first inning. The last chance for the Tigers, and Mizzou has 5, 6, and 7 hitters up. Cerna, Benson, and Seals scheduled here. Down 2. Need a runner to have a chance. Gackel in his 2nd inning of relief struck out the side in the Mizzou 8th inning.
and was absolutely dominant in those 3 up, 3 down. And you can just feel that dugout going, okay, this is the Gabe Gackel that we had looked for, talked about, and have been waiting on.
And he picks up where we left off and pumps it strike 1 to start Cerna.
Nice little first pitch changeup. Normally, teams down 2, you're assuming that they might take a pitch. So it's curious that he went with a first pitch changeup, showing something off speed. But in the world that we live in now, that's not necessarily always going to hold to be a fact. I don't want to get ambushed. I certainly don't want to get ambushed with a 1-run lead or a runner on base. So I'm very cautious on those first pitches in these situations.
Cerna takes low, and after getting the first pitch, that changeup over for a strike. Gabe Gackel is missed with the next 3. And a 5-pitch walk to Cerna, and Mizzou will get the tying run to the plate.
Well, that is not what anybody in the Arkansas dugout wanted to see. They wanted to see that dude that we had out there in the 8th. This one was a little cautious. We have a pinch runner coming out now, but only way that they can get the tying run to the plate is if I get the first guy on. Gackel walks the leadoff hitter. Now you got 3 straight guys hypothetically.
See Jamal George come in to run for the catcher Cerna, and Dave Van Horn has come out, and after those 4 straight balls after a strike, he's going to make the pitching change here and lift Gackel. So with the pitching change, we'll take a timeout. Lefty Ethan McIlvain comes in and try to close things out for the Razorbacks. He does lead their team with 3 saves. Here on this breezy night, he's got the mane going in the back, the resin on the hat, he's got the Fu Manchu, and he is ready to get to work.
I think that's sweat on the back of the hat. But the best Fu Manchu in college baseball. Fastball 94 to 96. You see the numbers, 3-0. He'll throw a cutter, curveball, 1.29. And only 12 hits in 21 innings. Opponents are hitting 154.
Nice couple of appearances totaling not quite 4 innings. 2 walks, the only appearance of any kind of minor blip. And that small sample size. George is the pinch runner at first. Tying runs at the plate for Mizzou. Nobody out, bottom of the 9th. 92 at the knees for strike 1. D.H. Benson, base hit last time up. That was a single to center in the 6th.
That would have scored a run. If somebody didn't get thrown out at third base
for the first out of the inning.
First out of the inning. And right now we'd probably be looking at a bunt situation. That's what I love about baseball is you can just look back on little points and go, that was a turning point. That was a turning point.
Had a number of those tonight. That's inside 2-1.
That's why it's been fun.
Yeah, it has. Been a very entertaining game.
He's nervous.
Both
he
sides.
thought all 3 of those pitches were strikes. He thought every pitch on the last hitter were all strikes.
2-1 pitch from the lefty. Ball 3. So after getting the first pitch over, the next 3 have been out of the zone.
McIlvaine just getting a little too fine, nibbling on the corners. Ball 4.
Yeah, pitch looked down, yep.
I mean, I appreciate that Benson's getting the bat started, but that was ball 4.
And runs it to a full count. Big 3-2 pitch. Coming up from McIlvaine to Cameron Benson. Checked his swing on the heater and got a piece to foul it off.
And ball 5.
That one was up.
I mean, I understand you're in defense mode, but just keeping notes of, that's 5 balls.
Yeah, and Coach Jackson's like, he says, timeout, let's talk this. And I think he's probably mentioned what you are. Like,
I know hitting's hard.
Yeah.
And he's throwing 95, and it's a lefty-lefty matchup, and you feel like you got to get the bat started.
All right, instructions relayed. Vincent comes back to the plate with that same 3-ball, 2-strike count. 5-3 Arkansas, bottom of the 9th, game 1 of this 3-game series. Tigers and Razorbacks. 7th pitch of the at-bat. Bouncy ball hits McIlvaine. He has the wherewithal to recover, make the long underhand toss and get an out. Advances George down to second, but Arkansas will take the out at first base.
That had a chance of sneaking up the middle. McIlvaine just squares his body up and takes one for the team. He's able to find it quickly. Mark, I would gladly trade an out to be hit by a ground ball.
Well, McIlvaine is 6'4", 250, so he had a lot to block with. Mizzou's not had a hit with a runner in scoring position tonight. 0 for 4. They got one out there now with Cerna at second. 1 out. Seals 1 for 3. Had a base hit to right in the 4th. Got under it. It's a high fly. Left center field. Tagging and going to third goes George, but Arkansas gets out number 2.
Seals makes a really nice pass on this fastball.
And Ruiz there in left field now. He makes the play. So Donovan Jordan, a freshman from Humboldt, Texas, will come off the bench for the Tigers as a pinch hitter here with Mizzou down to their final out.
Donovan Jordan hitting 250 on the year, 48 ABs. 2 home runs, 10 RBI. Comes up and he's looking to lift and launch right here, looking to ambush something.
McElvain starts him with strike one. Jordan, bouncy ball up the middle, base hit. That brings it Cernan, makes it a one-run game. So Jordan doesn't hit it out to tie it, but he does hit it up the middle. And keeps hopes alive for Mizzou with an RBI base hit.
Really nice piece of hit. Fastball away, stays with it, doesn't try to do too much, just takes it back up the middle, keeps the line moving. Tying run now at first base. Carrick Jackson is doing a lot of talking and discussing approaches to the plate, to the ABs. Everything going on right now, he is completely hands-on.
You're going to bat for Frost here. With Tyler make it, so they get a right-handed bat off the bench. Bat for the lefty Frost. And now the Razorbacks want to talk about it.
What's the record for meetings in one inning, one half inning?
We've had at least 3 now. But your point about Coach Jackson is a really good one, because his fingerprints all over this for Mizzou, you know, doing what a head coach is supposed to do. And then also the run they left on the table a few innings ago, he lifts Blaze out of the game after that. Another move that he most likely has made.
He's making his point.
Yes,
you know?
there you go.
He's making his point. Say, hey, you know what? This is not good baseball. This is not what we're supposed to do. You know better than this. The Ward comes out of the game, we think.
Macon couldn't catch up to 94 there. Macon's a guy who hit leadoff 18 times in the batting order this season for Mizzou, which is the most on the team. And Wojda bat leadoff tonight for just the second time, and he had the first pitch of the game out for a home run.
Macon leading the team in hitting at 337.
He's quickly in the hole 0-2, and Mizzou down to their final strike.
Yep.
Fastball, the strikeout. McElvain picks up the save, his 4th of the season. And Arkansas hangs on to win. They take game 1 of this 3-game series here in Columbia 5-4.
McElvain getting it done. 3 straight fastballs. This is just painted away. Macon been struggling. That's a tough spot. The Missouri gets out to an early lead. Arkansas doesn't panic. A couple of big home runs. Missouri gets one late. But still trying to find a way to get that W on the board.
They fall for the 14th straight time to the Tigers, to the Razorbacks, as Dietz gets the win to improve to 5-2. So 5-4, Arkansas wins it. That's going to take care of things from Columbia.